Hi, hello everyone. This is Dr. Vishal from VP Classes. So I'm going to start new spoken English and basic grammar classes in my YouTube channel VP Classes. So before I begin my class, I request everyone to subscribe to my channel VP Classes to get more classes on time. So today is the first class, so that is sentences in English. So I'm going to discuss in this class the various structures of a sentence and also various types of a sentence. Let's begin. So we all communicate through various sentences. Without sentences, we cannot communicate. One word cannot become a sentence. A words will not communicate by itself. We have to make a sentence and then communicate. And this sentence has to make a sense. So all these sentences have some structures. So there is a simple sentence, there is a compound sentence, complex sentence, etc. So but before going to discuss the structure of a sentence, let us understand what is a sentence. So what is a sentence? Sentence is nothing but a group of words, a set of words that is complete in itself. So very clear, the meaning is very clear. So sentence consists of many words or group of words that is complete in itself. What is that complete in itself? That means it gives certain meaning or it makes a sense. So that means when we speak in a sentence, it should give certain meaning. So a complete sentence must include two things. What are those? One is subject and another one is predicate. So these two things are necessary in a sentence. Now let us understand what is subject and what is predicate in detail. Now what is subject? What is subject? So subject is nothing but a person or a thing or anything that does the action. So that means a subject is a doer of the action in a sentence. He does the action in a sentence. So subject is also called as main focus in a sentence. So central point or focus point in a sentence is a subject. So what is predicate? So predicate means other part of a sentence that speaks about a subject or what a subject does. So if the subject is the focal point of center point of sentence, so other part is called as predicate. So that speaks about the subject. It is also called as object of a sentence. So many times it is also called as object of a sentence. Now let us understand this concept of subject and predicate with an example. So this is the example I have taken. India is the fastest growing economy. As you all know, India is the fastest growing economy in the world. So now let us understand what is subject and what is predicate. So predicate includes verb and object. Okay. So in this sentence, India is a subject because about which it is spoken in the next line. So is the fastest growing economy is a predicate. So where there is a verb and there is a object, growing economy is a object. So that means a predicate includes a verb and also object. Now let us understand more about subject and object, subject and predicate with some examples. First one, Mr. Ratan is going to Delhi. Okay, so in this sentence, Mr. Ratan is a subject about whom it is spoken. In the next line is going to Delhi, or Ratan is a doer of the action in this sentence. So is going to Delhi is a predicate. An apple is good for health. So what is subject and what is predicate? So an apple is a subject, is going for, is good for health is a predicate which contains a verb and also object. He is playing with his friends. So here he is a pronoun, is a subject. He is playing with his friends is a predicate. So he is a verb, he is playing is a verb, and with his friends is a object. The bottle is placed on the table. So bottle is a subject, he is placed on the table is a predicate where there is a auxiliary verb, he is placed on the table is a object. Then Mohan is hardworking student. So Mohan is a subject here. Is a hardworking student. It becomes a complementary. So is a auxiliary verb. So there is a verb, there is a object, so it is a predicate. We went to a temple while returning from Bangalore. So here we is a doer of the action, so we become subject. Went to a temple while returning from Bangalore is a predicate. Now let us understand what is a clause. Because in order to understand the various structures of a sentence, we need to understand what is clause and especially the types of clauses, that is independent clause and also dependent clause. Now, what is a clause? Clause is a group of words. So again, it is a set of words or group of words that at least contains a subject and verb. Okay, it is like a sentence itself, but clause will definitely have a subject and verb, but need not have a object. So it becomes a clause. Now there are two types of clause. One is independent clause, another one is dependent clause. Now let us understand what is independent clause. So independent clause means it can make a complete sentence. Okay, so independent clause makes a complete sentence. That means it makes a sense. There is a subject, there is a verb, and there is a object. Let us understand independent clause with various examples. For example, he was late, I drink water, he came home. So all these sentences speak what? Speak about a complete meaning. So there is a complete meaning in sentence. For example, he subject, okay, was late is a predicate. Okay, there is a verb, there is a object. I drink water, I is a subject, drink is a verb, and water is the object. He came home, he is the subject, verb, object. So this is complete. Okay, it gives a complete meaning. So it is a independent clause. That means it need not depend on another sentence to make a complete meaning. What is then dependent clause? So dependent is dependent on something else or dependent on another sentence. So it can make only a part of the sentence or partial sentence. So dependent clauses are not a complete sentence. They are called as part sentence or partial sentence. Examples: because he was late. See, the sentence itself is incomplete. Okay, it is a partial sentence. So it is a dependent clause. It can either depend on the previous sentence or the next sentence. If I drink water, what happens? So it depends on the next sentence. So it is a partial sentence. So he came home. So you do not know why he came home, right? So again, incomplete sentence. So it is a dependent clause. So let us understand these two concepts, that is independent clause and dependent clause, with some more examples. Now you have to identify whether it is an independent clause or dependent clause. Mr. Rahul plays cricket. See here, the sentence is complete. It gives a complete meaning. So it is an independent clause. Suman ate his lunch. Again, very complete. Okay, gives a complete meaning about the sentence. So it is independent clause. If you want to go, see, sentence is not complete. So it is dependent clause. So you should come. Again, see, sentence is not complete. Partial sentence. So it is dependent clause. Harish went to class. Very clear. So there is a subject, verb, and there is a object. So it is an independent clause. You should exercise daily. See, you subject, should is a modal verb, exercise daily is a object. So there is a complete meaning in this sentence. So it is an independent clause. Because he was late. So because he was late, again, not a complete sentence, it is a partial sentence. And the last one, while coming to office, again, it's a partial sentence. So both are dependent clauses. I think you understood what is independent clause and what is dependent clause, because in order to understand various structures of a sentence, we need to understand what is independent and what is independent clause. Now let us go to the structures of sentences. So basically there are four structures of a sentence. Let us discuss one by one. The first one is simple sentence. So what is simple sentence? So it is a sentence which is made with one independent clause. We have studied what is independent clause. So independent clause is a clause which contains at least subject and verb, or which gives a meaning, or which makes a sense, or which gives a complete meaning. So that is called as simple sentence. So all independent clauses are called as simple sentences. So independent clause consists of what? Subject, verb, and object. So usually it contains subject, a verb, and also object. So do you want examples? Yes, let us understand with one example what is simple sentence. Mr. A wrote a letter. So Mr. A is a subject here. Wrote is a verb, action. A letter is a object, so it is a independent clause. So, simple sentences are very important for us, especially for the beginners, because we have to start speaking English with simple sentences. So, there should be subject, there should be verb, and there should be object, and we should identify what is subject, verb, and object. Then, definitely, we can speak better simple sentences. So, let us begin speaking English with simple sentences. Now let us understand what is the next one, that is compound sentence. What is compound sentence? It is a combination of two independent clauses. It can be two or more. So when two independent clauses come together, then it becomes a combination, compound sentence. Example, Mr. A wrote a letter, but it was not dispatched. See, Mr. A wrote a letter is a complete, right? There is a subject, there is a object, verb, there is an object. It was not dispatched. It is a subject, was is a, okay, verb and not dispatch. Again, it is a predicate, right? So there are two independent clauses in this sentence. So it becomes a compound sentence. Then what is complex sentence? So complex sentence made with one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. For example, Mr. A wrote a letter. Okay, it is an independent clause because he was asked to write. So it becomes a dependent clause. So now you might have observed all dependent clauses begin with because, since, so, right? So if they begin with because, so, if, then it is a dependent clause because it is not a complete sentence, it is a partial sentence. So here we can see the combination of one independent clause and another one is dependent clause. Now let us understand the fourth one, that is compound complex sentence. So what is compound complex sentence? It is combination of compound sentence and also complex sentence. So compound sentence means there should be two independent clauses. Complex sentence means there should be one independent and another one is dependent clauses. Now let us understand by an example. Mr. A wrote a letter because he was asked to write and it was dispatched. See here, Mr. A wrote a letter. So there is a subject, there is a verb, there is an object. Because he was asked to write, it is not a complete sentence. Okay, it's a partial sentence, dependent clause, and it was dispatched. It is a subject, was is a verb, dispatch is a object. See, complete. Okay, it is an independent clause. So there are combination of two independent clause and another one dependent clause. So it is a compound complex sentence. Now let us go to the various kinds of sentences or various types of sentences. So how many types of sentences are there? You might have already understood or might have heard about types of sentences. Now let us discuss what are these four types of sentences. So there are four types of sentences. So first one is assertive or declarative sentences. What is assertive or declarative sentence? So assert, or you make a statement. Okay, so it is a sentence that makes a statement and has a full stop at the end. So all assertive and declarative sentences, what they make a statement, or whatever the statement that we make in our daily conversation, then it is called as assertive sentence. We assert, okay, we assert, we confirm, okay, or we declare that this is so and that is so and so because it is so and so. Example, I went to a temple. Okay, it is a statement. Okay, I declare that I went to temple. I get up early in the morning. Again, I assert, right, that I am going to get up or I am getting up early in the morning. So I get up early in the morning is a declarative sentence. My friend is in first year degree. See, I declare, okay, or I affirm that my friend is studying in the first year degree class. Okay, so all these examples for assertive sentences. Next one is, what is the next one? Next one is imperative sentence. So what is imperative sentence? Okay, imperative sentence means is a sentence that expresses an order and command and has a full stop at the end. So whatever the order that you make, whatever the command that you make is called as a imperative sentences. Examples, bring those papers here. See, you making an order, please bring, okay, those papers here, right? So it is an imperative sentence. Do your work please. Again, Okay, you are making a command. Okay, do your work, please. Okay, it's the imperative sentence. Clean the table. So you're ordering. Okay, please clean the table. So all these are imperative sentences. You can list more imperative sentences. Okay, in your activity. Next one, third one, interrogative sentences. Okay, what is interrogation? Questioning. So that means it is a sentence that asks question and ends with the question mark. This is very important. So if any sentence ends with the question mark, then it is a interrogative sentence. Example, we can give any number of examples for interrogative sentences. Where are you going? See, you are asking a question. Where are you going? Why did you come here? Okay, again, it's a question mark. You are asking a question, and who is that person? Again, asking a question. So all these are interrogative sentences. And the next one and the last one is exclamatory sentence. Okay, what is exclamation? It's a surprise, sudden feeling, right? So it is a sentence that expresses sudden and strong feelings and emotions, etc. Example. Okay, suddenly you express something. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, what a game. Okay. So these are the examples I have given here. What a game. You are watching a TV or you are watching a cricket match and you feel that the game is fantastic and you're telling your friend, what a game. Right? And you are suddenly you might have suddenly missed the missed the bus and you're telling your friends, oh my god, I missed the bus. Right? Okay, you are expressing the sudden feeling. Wow, that's a nice movie. You might have been, you are watching a movie and you're telling your friend, oh, that's a nice movie. See, you are expressing your feeling. Okay. So these are the various types of or various kinds of sentences. So let's recap what we have done. So first one, we have discussed meaning of a sentence. Then we have discussed meaning of a clause and different types of clauses. Then we have discussed different structures of a sentence. There are four structures of a sentence, and then of course at the end we have discussed various kinds of sentence. So this is regarding the class 1. Let's meet you in the next class, that is class number 2, with some more topic in spoken English and basic grammar. Thank you.